Hey everybody, I'm Heidelin and I'm part of the ETOPIA team. And on August 17th, we are putting on our first event called the Black Box Block Party because the space is actually a black box. So you're going to have to come and check it out. And it's a very special party because we're going to have four different musical artists come and perform, and we're going to be live streaming this, professionally recording this as like a music video. So you guys are going to get to come to this event and be part of the audience and be part of this music video creation. But before the event, I wanted to give you guys a chance to meet the artists that are going to be performing at this event. And today with me, I have Robert Dunlap. Dunlap, I told you I was going to screw your last name up. It wasn't even hard.
Potato, potato.
Okay. So, hey, Robert, how are you doing?
I'm very well. And yourself?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you for joining me today for this interview. All right, so I've got a couple questions prepared for you. So the first one is, can you share a story behind one of your most powerful songs? What inspired its creation and what does it mean to you personally?
Well, sure. That would be Medusa's Palace of Stone. It's one that I recently put out. It actually has my vocals in it, and it has, about four guitars, four electric guitars in it, two for the lead and two for the rhythm. The interesting part about this is this was the second piece of music that I introduced my voice in. For many, many years, I used to make jokes about myself saying, yeah, I sing tenor, 10 or 12 miles away from the microphone, and it just looks like that. But one day I started singing with a piece that I loved since I was a kid. And I realized, you know what, there might be something to this. I might have a voice that I could use. And I tried it on a few people and they really liked what I was doing. I got a lot of positive feedback. So, to make a long story short, I put this piece together and Pandora accepted it. Now, what's interesting about this fact is Pandora is one of those platforms that has curators that listen to it, and if they decide that they like it, that they'll put it on. If they don't, I mean, just to give you an idea, out of the 12 songs that I'm currently promoting, they selected seven. So they don't like everything. But what's fascinating about that is, for somebody who didn't believe that they had a voice, they selected one of my first pieces. So you'd think you'd be a novice at that point, but for some reason, what I did, um, they liked a lot, and so, or at least liked enough to put up there. So that's an incredible feat. So I say, that piece for me stands as a monument to what can happen if you actually dare to do something and not worry about the consequences.
So that song you said you can find it on Pandora. Where else can you find that song?
You can find it, in fact, I say jokingly, check your favorite musical platform, digital platform, and it's probably on there. You've got it on Spotify, you've got it on YouTube. Um, I always tell people to check it out on YouTube because I make more money when people listen to it on YouTube.
That's
Um,
right. Always tell people to go to your preferred site.
right, it is on YouTube. So basically, what you do in order to get to it, all you have to do is go onto YouTube and type in Medusa's Palace of Stone, Robert Dunlap. Should come right up.
All right, cool. All right, so how has the local music scene influenced your music and growth as an artist? And are there any particular like bands or artists or venues that have been really pivotal for you?
Well, that's actually a very interesting question, considering the fact that where I live is on the outskirts of a city that's hustling and bustling with a music scene. But where I live doesn't necessarily have much of anything in terms of music. However, it would just so happen that this was the area where I met somebody who I'd worked together for a couple of years, and and has done a lot in the music business and has been very helpful in terms of giving me other perspectives uh, from an insider, I guess you could say. Now, in terms of the venues, I even in the city of St. Augustine, there's it's a different kind of music scene than what I do specifically. So most of my work has been done online. In fact, right now, if you wanted to, and it's much different than it used to be. You can go online right now, do a live stream, and have 100 to 200 people on your site listening to you play live in the first 10 minutes. So the way that that influences you is that you learn to play in front of a lot of people very, very quickly. And as soon as that recorder goes on, that's it. You're on, and you lose the fear of being in front of people because it's as though you're on reality TV. You're always on. And if you goof up, well, so did this guy over here, so did this lady over here. We're all a bunch of goof ups. So once you lose the fear, you bring out your best work. And I'm the kind of person who, if I make a mistake, I'll make a joke out of it and say, "You didn't hear that, by the way." And people love it. They get the biggest kick out of it. They say this guy, this girl is not a fake. They're not trying to be something they're not. And everything that comes out of this person is genuine. And so it's trained me not only to be a better musician, but a better performer. But it wasn't in the current venues here because there aren't any that really suit my needs.
All right, awesome. So what challenges have you faced as an artist like in this region? I guess you kind of talked about that a little bit. Like there's not like a ton of like venues and stuff that suit your needs. Um and you talked about overcoming them by moving online. Are there any other challenges that you have noticed as an artist?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, well, I'm 46 years old, so I can tell you that from the perspective of somebody who lived through the 80s and saw, the glam metal scene and when things were really hustling and bustling in Los Angeles, and it was the place to go, and New York as well. But I mean, there were places to go where, you know, you could go there, but you really had to pound the pavement in a way that you don't have to now. But see, the interesting fact is, in order to be successful in today's world, because anybody can turn on a camera, and there are a lot of talented people that perhaps would never have gotten the chance back in the 80s because you had to be signed by a big company or in order to have, a company that had the processes and the money to put you out there. Now you can do it yourself. However, everybody else is able to do that as well. So what that means is that you're having to scream above the crowd. And so it brings you back to the drawing board on a consistent basis. And when you have to do that, you think much faster because you say, okay, I've got all these, and your brain is in the process of always dealing with complex information. Whereas before you just got out there and you pounded the pavement, and after a few years, if you didn't make it, you figure, well, I'll just give up. It's not like that now. I mean, you've got people who are using catchphrases that are becoming millionaires. And so this is a crazy wild west of music. And don't let anybody tell you that they understand it 100% because not even the record executives understand what's going on.